Alrighty, we are live for the VFL Richmond versus Sydney watch along. We're not at Beaconsfield, although it is quite close. It'll be quite cold and miserable out there, I imagine. But no, we thought we'd do a bit of a live watch along to see how the VFL team goes today after their nice win against the Giants last week. Not sure. I think this might get cut short ever so slightly with the AFL game overlapping, which is a bit annoying, but. Not only is the AFL game overlapping, I think the next game of the Champs is overlapping as well. So we'll, not get to see any of the Vic Metro. I think it was Vic Metro or Vic Country and WA, I think it was, that were kicking off today at 10 a.m. Perth time. But anyway, it is what it is. At least it's not a complete overlap of AFL and VFL. So that's something. But what have we got? 4 minutes until the game starts for VFL at Beaky. What's everyone hoping to see today from a VFL perspective? I've got my prediction of Juddy Clark for 23 disposals, although I'm not sure if the weather conditions will allow that to occur, but I'll be backing him in for another big game. Thought he was very, very unlucky to not be selected in the seniors this week, to be honest, but... Oh yeah, the stream's just fired up. Marco, mate, same again from Moz and Juddy. Lafau to be strong. Yeah, Lafau would have been close as well too. What would be interesting is... That's an interesting... Which way is that facing, that lineup? Or is that just... it might just be a list of players, because they had Maurice Rioli technically showing in the back pocket. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's going to be interesting again to see how they use Maurice Rioli Jr., to see if they go with him in the midfield again, as per where he did his best work last week, or if they put him into the forward line again. So hopefully it's midfield minutes again. If we can see another good 4 quarters, that would be really, really nice. Scruffy, what's going on? Sorry if my voice sounds a bit cooked. I am a little bit crook still, but thought we'd push on and get something done. I won't be doing the AFL game as well. It'll just be the VFL game. I'll go and watch that in the warmth of the lounge room. The fact they're emergency shows, they're probably back in after the bye. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Noel, how are you, mate? What's going on? But no, I really did think that Juddy was a big chance this week. This is going to be an average camera angle, I reckon. It's not a VFL setup specific ground, so it's very much a makeshift camera that is in there. Morris looks like he is in at the centre bounce, which is good.
And a very good morning and welcome to an overcast and chilly home park in Beaconsfield.
I think that's late. Yeah, it's been going through the household, Scruffy. Our youngest is still crook. He's had it since about Tuesday, I reckon. So his kids been home from kinder, home from school. I've been home and had Thursday off. I work from home from Fridays anyway, but pushed through because I had to get some shit done. But yeah, my voice is a bit cooked. The throat's a bit sore, but I thought, got to watch some VFL though. Hugh man, welcome from Thailand. Welcome all the way from Thailand. Very good. I appreciate you tuning in all the way from there. Hopefully this helps give an update on the VFL, because I'm not sure VPN-wise how it works over there. Yeah, no, hopefully if we can get a double win would be nice. We're about 1,000 metres away from the play here with the camera, but it is what it is. We can't do much about it. The conditions actually look okay out there at Beaconsfield. Which Wales down? So all VFL games are on the AFL website or AFL app. So if you go to the app, if you go to the fixture like you normally would, And then there should be a drop down on the top left side. It'll by default say Toyota Premiership season, but you can change that to VFL season, and that will bring up all the VFL games. And then, yeah, click on Richmond, Sydney, and it will say watch now. But that's assuming you're in Oz. If you're international, overseas, I'm not sure if if it will allow you to do it unless you've got a VPN. Hey, Tiggs, how are you, mate? Go Tigers, yeah, exactly right. What's everyone's prediction for the game? Chuck out some predictions, whether it's disposals, goals, how many spear tackles McKelty will lay, whatever you want to do, chuck them out there. We're entering our forward half. How good is it to see car parked around the ground, though? Such a good local footy vibe. Not sure how the Swans have been going in the VFL either. My assumption would be they've been fairly depleted, I guess, with how they're going. No worries, Mitch. All good, mate. All good. Enjoy. Feel free to stick around if you wish to do so, and you can tune in and we can all watch along together. Because we've got it at half forward. McKelty's pushed up to the contest. The big snack pack's in there. Geez, that throw-in fell about 10 metres short then. Are they going to redo it? No, it's a different free kick. Bit of a breeze down there at Beaky. It's seeing the weather, what it's outside like now. I'm not sure if it's raining at the G or not, or how windy it is there. But I'm really bracing myself for some poor conditions today at the football. Gee, McKelty's pushed up to a wing here. He's just getting up and around the stoppages. This is an interesting little development. Not sure if there's much in that, but just might have thought he would have sat a bit deeper. You reckon there might be some late changes? No, who would you think? Who do you reckon? Well, who are our emergencies again? I can't remember who we had down as emergency. Well, Juddy Clark was one. So it won't be him because he's out there. There must be at least one of the emergencies we've carried over that has to be at the ground, surely. Lefau's just ripped the bloke off. Juddy Clark, disposal inside 50. Very high up and under. Oh, Morris got taken out. I think it was a collision. Oh, Juddy Clark touched on the line. Unlucky. Juddy, Lefau and Trigger. Yeah, so they're all there. G'day, Kylie. I've got 4 minutes and 1. So this clock counts up, just so everyone knows. 4 minutes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they've just taken a mark in the middle of our defensive, in our forward 50. 4 minutes 15 now. Lefau just got the ball in the half forward line. He's going to get pinged for holding the ball here. Yep. Try to fend him off and got done. G'day, Cap. How are you, mate? Yeah, if Juddy, Lefau and Trezise are all emergencies and they're all playing, I can't imagine them getting there in time to be at the ground. Like, they would have to leave at half time. Yeah, the ground does look all right, actually. As the Swans go inside 50. Juddy Clark cleans up at the back. Good releasing handball to Tyler Young. Oh, out of bounds, though. Jasper was by himself. Get it to Jasper. Answer my Instagram DM as well, Jasper. I'm trying to get you on the show. Answer your DMs. Very slight wind in Richmond at the moment. Rain has stopped. That's good. Yeah, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it stays like that. It's hard to tell, like, if the rain would help us or not, though, or whether it would help them. It could help them being a bit of a contested side. Good tackle from McKelty. He owed us one from earlier. Holding the ball. Oh, that's Campbell Gray gets the switch kick. Oh, it's a downfield free kick. David, how are you, mate? What's going on? 100-metre off the ball free kick. Razzo must have been dealt with in some way, shape or form, which we'll never see because there's no replays or other cameras. But the end result is McKelty Lafau has been progressed up the field for a shot at goal. He's still got to convert it though. McKelty Lafau comes in. Oh no, that's slid away right from behind. Could be a tricky breeze down there. Could be a tricky breeze. Elnor, good grab. Oh no, he's dropped it. Oh no, they paid it. Geez, I'm not really sure he held that long enough to be fair, but we'll take it. Inside 50 we go. The tap. Liam Fawcett, good lead. How much better is that when you lead up at the ball kicker? Good lead and mark. What do we all think of Fawcett? I don't mind him. Good hands. I don't want to say anything about his kicking just yet before he kicks it, but it's just a bit of a big pecking order, isn't it, in terms of getting in to get a game? As the tap comes in for goal. Oh, God. Feels like we maybe haven't worked on our goal kicking this week. It's funny because the trees behind the goals at that end seem relatively still, but then as it gets to the wing, they look a bit more breezy. Rogue Mine's working okay. Just not to say it won't shit its pants though. As I think Campbell Gray gets an intercept mark. Back inside 50 he goes. Jacob Bauer takes a mark inside 50. Our third opportunity here for a shot at goal. Need to, again, we say it most weeks, need to convert to the scoreboard pressure. Otherwise, you're just keeping teams in it. Yeah, there is plenty of time for him, Dave. I just worry that now we've got Fall, Sims, Armstrong, in particular, as Bauer comes in and kicks truly for the Tigers' first goal of the day. Jacob Bauer picking up where he left off last week. He had a really good game last week, didn't he? 3 goals. So that's a really good start for him. But yeah, and like you obviously got Lafau as well. So I'm just a little bit unsure about where Fawcett fits in the pecking order. I really like him though. I think he's got a lot of good tools to play at the level, but obviously got a little bit unlucky that he came in for that one game while Tom Lynch was out and then went straight back out again. But yeah, I just don't know where he or how he fits in, and I'd like to fit him in. Oh, Academy Supercoach needs Gray. What did he get last week in Supercoach? I'm probably, I don't know, I might be in the minority, but I wasn't a fan of dropping Gray either for Bolter. Like, on exposed form, Blight was probably actually the better defender for us in the VFL. And I know Bolter's Bolter, as McKelty gets a handball out. Juddy Clark's going to receive this 51 on the left. Juddy Clark, bang, get him in the ones right this minute. Drive him down to the MCG, have him as a laid in, get him on the park. What is this madness leaving him in the VFL? Absolute madness. I might have sold him short on distance there. It might have been longer than 51. It's really hard to tell with that angle. But that is a great goal from Juddy Clark. That shows the kind of weapon he is and why I'm dumbfounded that he wasn't in the side this week. What a goal. Good little handball out from McKelty as well. That's a great goal. Surely, I know we're 10 minutes into the first quarter. Juddy's got to be in next week. And it's a tricky one because we only obviously lost to the Giants by 3 points at Sydney, which is a pretty good effort. So I can definitely understand the mentality of wanting to keep consistency amongst the team, given how well they did. But, good tackle, Trezise. You've got to find a spot for him. Got to find a spot. Big Cleaner doing some ruck work duties. He's back after a bit of a stint on the sideline. Just working it around the back half there. Rogue says Heat force it, has to persevere, as not all those tools will make it long term. It'll be a game of attrition between Lafau, Fawcett, for Sims. You don't reckon they'll all make it? Who out of them don't you think will make it, though? Out of interest. Because, I mean, the early argument would be Fall, Sims, and Armstrong have definitely shown they're going to make it, I reckon. I think there's more signs to suggest they will than they won't. Lafau is obviously he's not old, but he's on the older side compared to those guys. But I think Lafau's got a role to play when Lynch retires, whether it's end of this year or next year, to fill that mature body gap until these other kids come on. But I reckon those other kids, I reckon there's more to suggest they will make it than won't. And that's what worries me about trying to fit Fawcett in. And we've got the same problem down the other end of the ground too, with all the defensive stocks. I'm really finding this interesting, Lafau up and around the contest at stoppages. I remember someone a little while ago, I don't know whether it was tongue-in-cheek or not, suggested Lafau on a wing. Maybe we're seeing some of that. I suppose because he's just trying to barrow his way through a pack there. Because we've got Fawcett and Bauer up forward, then yeah, maybe they're just trying to be a bit creative. In for the buy, David. Yeah, in for the buy. Get him in there. A quick inside 50, but Swans take the grab. Yeah, I saw that as well, Scruffy. I'm not sure about the Morris in the back pocket scenario. Don't know about that. Oh, good mark from the Swans there. Yeah, hopefully post-buy. Do the VFL play again next week, I imagine? Because we've already had so many buys in the VFL that, yeah, hopefully there's not another one. If they get another game in while the AFL team has a buy, then, yeah, maybe he comes in after that. Lafau is definitely pushing up the ground here. Oh, that's not a great kick from the Swans inside 50. Yeah, I definitely take your point, Rogue, that stats suggest it, but the eye test at the moment's kind of saying otherwise, though, isn't it? Like, if you put the stats to one side, from what we've seen on exposed form so far, it's hard to see all of them or one of them not making it, which is good, but scary. Jasper! My man! Get him in! Went goalless last week and gets a great crumbing goal today. Jasper Olga on the scoreboard. But no, I definitely take your point, Rogan. You 99.9% of times you're right with that stat-wise historically. But could we be the 0.1 where it's not that? Kind of like the Marvel Endgame where, 14 million possibilities and we've got the one chance. Could that be this chance? Lachlan, VFL is on AFL website or AFL app. So if you go to fixtures on AFL website or app, the top left will have a drop down. It'll by default say Toyota AFL Premiership Season. Change that to VFL and then click on the game and hit watch now. Yeah, I think that I agree, Rogue. I think they got that the wrong way around. It was confusing as looking at the team lineups. I was questioning what I was watching. Gee, that's a rough hold to pay. No, Samson Ryan's not playing. He was withdrawn. I read somewhere, but this was on the Twitter sphere, about some foot soreness. I've got no idea how true that is, but that's just what I had read. Whether it's true or not remains to be seen. But no, he's not out there. But we've got Hayes Brown and Kalina are doing the ruck work today, with Fawcett and Lafau being the key forwards. Fawcett and Bauer being the key forwards, and Lafau's playing up the ground. Joe the Goose Jasper, love a good Joe the Goose, as the Swans look like hitting the scoreboard. Oh. Rush that through. Good boy. All good, Lachlan, all good. I'm glad that Jasper got on the board. Again, I reiterate, Jasper, check your Insta DMs and reply to me, my man. I'm trying to get him on for a chat. But No love so far. No love. Adam Sims is a ruck forward. Agree. Armstrong and Fall are the two main talls. Lafau is the third forward type pushing up the ground. Well, I mean, today is probably the first day I've really seen Lafau push up the ground as high as he has and do some work around stoppages. Maybe he has in other games. I've just not noticed it. That's a distinct possibility. But today, it's really standing out today. Tyler Young, nice mark in defence. Clark in against the Dogs. Is that who we've got next? I need to sort out behind front of me lines for that. Yeah, I think Lafau will get a spot back in the ones soonish. I still think that it could be good to have a more mature body down there at various times. It's really hard because we've been doing so well, even with Fall and Sims, who are obviously very inexperienced, but we're sort of very close to getting the job done. Like you look at the Giants game, we kick a couple of those goals in the second quarter and we have them done in a half of football with those inexperienced guys there. So in that sense, it's probably working. But yeah, when they start to tire a bit, I think we'll see McKelty come in and play a role of some type. Bit of congestion here on the wing. Got to bring up my VFL stats. Have we got anyone listening that's at the ground today? Can we get another listener spot in the crowd? Where are the player stats? Blight. Lovely little chip into the middle. Oh, nearly a good mark there from Bauer. Tom Clark playing VFL definitely rules him out. Yeah, well, I think it does, unless he finishes up at half time and makes the trek down to the G. And it's interesting because all three of the emergencies are currently playing out in the VFL now. So Trezise, Lafau, and Clark. I would have thought that we would usually have like one held over, so someone at the game. But like I said, unless some of them maybe play a half and then hightail it down the freeway. But he's out there. So I would say it's unlikely that they'll play in the AFL. I.e., no late changes. Oh, he's just burst through there, the Swans player. Good mark. Noel, so many more kids who have not played VFL senior football because of eyes. The Tigers' second half of the season is going to be exciting. Agree. I think we said this last week. It's a really fascinating situation that a team as young as ours would typically tire as the year goes on, but because of the different points in time that some of our players are coming back from their stints out of football for the eye reason, that we're actually going to start getting players back in a staggered period across the back half of the season, which could keep the side relatively fresh with new names coming in. And we've got obviously like Jody Clark will probably see some time soon. Lafau might see some time soon. So these guys have not been playing since round one this year at VFL level, should be, on their toes and ready to go. So it's an exciting thing for the back half of the year. We've probably got a bit of a more difficult fixture, I reckon, in the back half of the year. But we might find ourselves in some more games where other teams tire. We might still hold up okay. As we go inside 50 again, the Swans rebound straight away. Oh, Jacob Blight, good spoil. Oh, Jasper with the contested. This is what I mean. Play him. Play him. He can do it at ground level. He can play. He plays taller than what he is, takes good marks like that, and gives himself chances to score. And I'm not knocking Steely Green, but that's what Steely Green can't do. But Steely Green does do pressure better than what Jasper does. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but that's a great contested mark. And Jasper's lining up for his second goal. I'll get to that in a sec, widescreen. We'll just watch Jasper wander in. And that slid across the face for a behind. Widescreen says, assuming we take both first to the draft, what do you think our preference based on our list will be? Ruck, yeah, CDT, speedy mid, grill, utility, Dersma, halfback, flank, Lindsay, inside mid, sharp. Yeah, it's a really good question. I know you said this is based on us taking the picks to the draft. I don't think we'll have both picks come draft time for obvious reasons, but on the assumption that we do, if Duff Tyler gets to us, like if West Coast don't take him, oh no communication there, I would definitely strongly consider Duff Tyler. I know there's a bit of hesitance around taking Ruckman with high picks, but this guy's a bit more of a unicorn, I reckon. So he's a bit more special in that sense. And I'm thinking more in 4 to 5 years' time, the prospect of having Duff Tyler and Sims alternate between Ruck and Ford is a pretty good prospect and has you set up for multiple years. In terms of the other play, Grill's doing some nice things. He's probably the one that adds the most speed for us in the midfield. Sharps obviously finds the ball a bit, but I'm not sure he's as quick as what Grill is. Oh, we go inside 50 again. Oh, a bit of pressure going on. McKelty's going to hurt someone here. Yep. He's trying to run through him. It's going to be holding the ball again. Ball up. Wow, he's got away with one. Yeah, if Duff Tyler's available, take him. Dersma's form's dropped a little bit in recent weeks, so I'd be keen to see him kind of reprieve himself in the champs. There was someone else that someone sent me a video of, and I can't remember what his name is. I'll have to go back and check that. Lindsay, I'm not sure about. Like, he can play. I'm just a little bit unsure whether you'd use that high of a pick on what's most likely a half-backer when you've got Sam Banks doing some good things as well. Who would you guys all take? And this is why I'm probably not so fussed if we do trade him out for Reed if we are in the race, because there just doesn't feel like the same quality as last year's draft. Rodriguez would be another one I'd be interested in, although the WA factor can be a little bit off-putting, I guess. But yeah, Duff Tyler would definitely be on the list if available. Tom Houghton, Lawler and Smiley's timelines lining up could lead to an extremely exciting game. I know, and you know what, Tom? My absolute worst fear at the moment is that game you're speaking of, where they could all line up at the same time, which I've looked at the calendar as well, and I do think it's a chance. My worst fear is that it happens while I'm out of the country and can't go to it. I think the Collingwood game is when it might happen. Maybe it's the week after, but the Collingwood game seems to be the one that fits the timeline nicely, depending on VFL form. So yeah, that would be, like, I'll be able to still watch the game, but to not be able to go would be devastating. Oh, Razzo's out here. Go, Razzo. Goes inside 50, one-on-one, the tap. Morris has come in from about 8 deep, pushes the big man off the ball. The tap picks it up, swings around the left, out in the full. Probably should have given that off to someone, I reckon. Rush of blood. Morris was nowhere near that contest and just got there extremely quickly. Gibkiss will be around that. He could be the Collingwood game, or maybe one after or two after, just depending. I think they'll take it a bit easier with him in the VFL too when he comes back. Yeah, no, I had to think that one through. No, you almost got me there. Bad turnover. Harry Scott takes. Oh no, what's he doing? He's passing. Oh, McKelty. Jeez, dangerous. Oh, Adam, I'm with you, mate. Tash Houghton. God damn. Like, hasn't even played an AFL game yet, or a VFL game. But shit, he's exciting. You just know he's going to have a good impact. And I guess he believes he's a midfielder. And I think that's where he'll end up playing. But I mean, early days, as Lafau comes in and kicks a behind. Early days will probably find himself on half forward or wing, but you'd love to see him get some midfield minutes, even if it's at VFL level before he comes into AFL. But yeah, I don't foresee him playing too many games at the VFL, to be honest. He's a super, super talented kid. And like, so this week, just to give you an idea of what to keep an eye out for this week in terms of our shows. On Monday night, we'll probably do like a mid-season review show. And on Wednesday night, we're going to do a show where I've got all the guys to list their round 1 2026 best 22. It's a bloody tough task. I encourage you all, if you've got a spare 10, 15 minutes, sit down, go through the list, see if you can pen down a best 22 for round 1 2026, and just take note of the names that you've left out of the team. And I know we're not an A+ side, we're not, the form team of the comp, but in terms of the youth and the excitement we've got in the side, there are some serious names that are getting left out of a round 1 team next year. It's crazy. Good kick. Get it in there, Jacob. Oh, the ball split out the back. Oh, he's cleverly fumbled that over the line. Cleverly. No, I think we need speed. Yeah, agree. Craig, you're over seasoned a month. If I miss Houghton and Smiley's first game, I'll spew up. I'm with you, mate. I reckon I'm a genuine chance to miss it. I'll be fuming. Trouter, I would move back and get a late first this year and one next year, then target Emmett. Do we need another big forward, though? What, out of interest, why would you target him, given who we've drafted already? What's the appeal there? Oh, Campbell Gray is not in a good way. Hopefully he's okay, because he got twisted. It looks like his shin that he's holding, though, to be fair. Hopefully it's just a stinger. Good first quarter, though. 25-1 in the opening quarter with the VFL. So we've got... Is Emmett a ruck? I thought he was a... Is he a forward ruck or a ruck forward? Kylie, how many games of VFL do you think Smiley will play before coming to the AFL? Will he play AFL this year? I mean, if you look at the language from Uze and Serpil, they definitely want and hope and see him playing AFL this year. I reckon when Smiley comes back, he'll still need to do at least 3 games of VFL. Because it seems like they're getting him fit again, like conditioning-wise, maybe get a bit lighter so his frame can handle it a bit better. Then I reckon he's going to have to put 2 or 3 weeks in at VFL level consistently, and then come back in. And and it's probably not a great comparison, but bear with me. We obviously saw Dion Presti's return to VFL, and I know he's obviously ultra experienced, but he cruised around, got 20-odd disposals, a goal, looked really comfortable at the level, did all the right things. I don't think we've seen Smiley quite do that yet. And I know there's a huge difference in experience and games played and whatnot, but you'd want to see Smiley look really comfortable and above the level at VFL before you put him in, if that makes sense. Will draft best available? Yeah, see, I don't know, Andrew. It's an interesting question. Like, typically when you got picks that high, that's what you do. But I'm just wondering that on the back of last year having the 8 picks, we were able to go a bit outlandish, that maybe we can target more specific needs in this draft. I feel like if any team's in a position to do it, it's us. But I still don't think I'm still committed to the Harley Reid core, so I'm not sure we'll have... I'd love to keep one of the picks. Like, if you can somehow get Harley Reid and a Grill or a Dersma or whatever in, that's a huge outcome. Huge outcome. Well, that's true, Rogue. We do need Lefau to kick some goals to put his hand up. Agree. Warrior, can you do a best 22, but also include around 10 who could play same roles if first option not fit? Oh, so like a secondary 22. Yeah, I'll try and work out how we can best do that. Yeah, Steve, not sure why Rielly's not playing in the midfield. He's been up and around stoppages, but not so much in the guts. Had a good almost run-down tackle before. Trouter looks at Emmett as a ruck More of a ruck who can go forward and use him as a Sims 1-2 punch in 3 to 4 years. So I suppose if you're doing that and you can get Duff Tytler, would you take Duff Tytler over Emmett if Duff Tytler was available? Maybe it's something you look at splitting on the night. I reckon you'd roll the dice to get Duff Tytler first if that was the path you're going down. Brady, we have enough talent fighting for a game. We need to land Reed. I agree. I would love to land Reed. I know there's going to be a lot of conjecture about what we pay draft-wise, what we pay him money-wise. We'll talk about the money-wise first. Money-wise, you got to remember, you have to pay 95% of the salary cap, and I don't think we'd be anywhere near it. So the Lynch money is about to change. We obviously lost a shitload of coin last year with Dusty and Bolton, Rioli, Baker, Graham, etc. So you got to pay it somewhere, and I know there's an argument for not loading up one player, but if you start overpaying 7 or 8 other players, and then you've got to pay them more in their next contract, you might be worse off potentially. And draft capital wise, look, if we can somehow swindle giving up some future picks, it'd be nice to keep one of the picks in this draft if we are in the Harley Reid race. You would love to, but I think it's a no-brainer now to try and get him in at least. Scruffy dropping all the stats. Loving it. Noel, do I think they'll ask Dusty to go to Perth and talk to Harley Reid, nudge him over the line? From what I can understand, Dusty's been involved in conversations with Reid well before this moment in time. I think they've already got a pre-existing relationship of sorts, and I do believe that he has played a little part in speaking to him along the journey. Whether that becomes a more prominent part, now that if he's coming back on as a mentor, you'd be crazy not to send Dusty over, wouldn't you? I mean, imagine that as a pitch. Dusty rocks up to your house. Hey, come across. I'll mentor you. So it's a pretty good draw card. Dab, what's going on? Human, the wide AFL community has no awareness of the depth of talent on our list. Yeah, I'd maybe agree with that. It's pretty nice, the depth we've got at the moment. It's pretty nice. Widescreen, if CDT drops to us, you trade that pick to Essendon for their 2 firsts. That's an interesting prospect. So what will they have? Like 7 and 8 or 7 and 9, 7 and 10, something like that? Because it's Melbourne's pick, isn't it, that they've got? That's not a bad shout. You're passing up Duff Tytler, though. It's the risk versus reward. It's not a bad point, though. I don't mind it. I reckon, Adam, they might ask for a little bit more. They may not get it. But I suppose ultimately I'll definitely put all of my faith and support into Blair Hartley and the team because they do a ripper job, as we all know. I can still get Emmett then maybe. Yeah, so that's a good point, widescreen. That would be not a bad way to try and manufacture it. Warrior, I give it 12 to 18 months. A lot of these young forwards in form with a base of 10 to 15 games behind them. Yeah. So, look, 2026 is probably a little bit of a write-off as well. I know that's going the early crow, but like your Falls, your Sims, your Armstrongs, they still won't be physically developed enough to take on the brunt of a full key forward role yet. And that's why I think it's really important that Tom Lynch plays next year. The game started back up. Morris gets a clearance. To make sure he's still there to help guide and protect them more than anything. And if Lynch doesn't go around again or whatever happens, then I think someone like Lafau will need to play that role, which I think he'll be able to do a little bit easier having those other guys there as support. But no, we definitely need him as in Lynch, to hang around one more year. If we can get him through to 2027, I think by then your Falls, Armstrongs and whatnot will be at a physical point in time in their development where they can handle a bit better. Mike, what's going on? I'm going well, thank you. Need to put them away this quarter. Elga needs a game soon. I know, what did we kick 7 behind or something? So it's probably a bit more blustery and shit conditions at Beaconsfield, to be fair. But yeah, you'd like to see another 5 or 6 goals this quarter and really drop it in. Oh, Juddy Clark, point. Yeah. Or was it Jasper? That might have been Jasper. It wasn't long ago that people were saying he's a generational talent. Yeah, exactly. And I suppose, Andrew, the way I'm kind of looking at it is there hasn't been a draft since the Harley Reid draft where people have said, oh, there's a Harley Reid type player in there. I know it's only been a couple of years. Lawler's probably the closest that you'll see to date, but I don't think there's that type of player in this year's draft. So we'll have to. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah, I think West Coast will take him as well, Trouter. Agree. Yeah, keep dropping the stats, Scruffy. Liking it. I think West Coast will take Sharp if they have two first, depending if West Coast wants Dersman or CDT. I reckon they'll give some strong consideration to Rodriguez as well, being from WA, just to try and eliminate the go-home factor. And Rodriguez isn't a bad player as well. Am I 2 points behind, am I? There we go. Thank you, David. Campbell Gray is playing. He did cop a bit of a knock in pretty much on the quarter time siren, so I haven't seen him out there again just yet. But yeah, he did. He was grabbing his shin, I think, or lower leg anyway. But no, he was playing definitely. The rebuild's complete, Tab. One behind. Yeah, haven't seen Campbell Gray just yet. I really thought Campbell Gray could have played a bit of a forward role this week as well for us at AFL level, but wasn't to be. Okay, they said he went down to the rooms. Right, hopefully he's okay. Oh, good mark from the Swans. Who's got disposals for us? Jasper Alger leading the way for Richmond listed players. 6 disposals, 3 tackles, 3 marks, 1 clearance, 1 goal, 1 behind. Juddy Clark, 5 disposals, 1 goal. Not bad from those two gentlemen. As the Swannies have a set shot. But yeah, the draft's going to be really interesting to see what we do there. Swans on the board. Your boy, Dogs, welcome. Go Tigers, yes, definitely. Swannies hit the scoreboard, though. It does look dry down there. I'm not too far from Beaconsfield. It was raining a little bit here. Not heavily, but it seems like it's clearer now. How's everyone feeling about the potential of Harley Reid? Is everyone on board with it? Is there still reservations? Do you think Reid could make a good impact straight away? What's everyone thinking? Maybe we'll do a poll. 100%, Damien. Having competition for spots is so important to football clubs, as Razzo just gets done holding the ball. Yeah, competition for spots is like the main pillar to creating a good culture and to drive a winning environment. So you want the guys and the seniors to be feeling under pressure, essentially. There we go. Chuck a poll in. Cameron, going well. Thanks yourself. No, Declan, I agree. I think, and look, I've also mentioned comments about his attitude and stuff as well this year. Oh, Jasper, my man, comes from 3 deep with a contested mark. Oh, I'm onto this. I'm telling you. Glenn, welcome. How you going? Jeez, Jasper. MRJ's been a bit all over the shop, Hoops. It's been a bit weird with the way the team was named and whatnot. But yeah, so I was obviously a little bit critical of Harley's, I suppose, attitude earlier on in the season. I think as well, I was maybe a little bit too harsh. He is still very, very young, and it's probably a bit harder to deal with what's going on contract-wise and stuff like that. Jasper with another goal. Get him in. Oh, I've lost my little stream deck. There we go. 2 goals for Jasper Elga. But I think Reed coming into our environment, I don't think there's anything to fix. I think he'll just feel a bit more comfortable once all the contract stuff's done, whether he's staying or going, whatever decision he makes. Once he's comfortable with that decision, I think you'll start to see him playing better football, whether it's at West Coast or wherever else. He just needs to work out what he wants to do, I suppose. He did look nice in the yellow and black jumper as well, it must be said. How good's Jasper? Michael, do I worry we've gone in too tall this afternoon? I'm not sure we've gone in too tall. I mean, it's no taller than last week, I guess. It depends on the weather, though, doesn't it? Like, if it starts to piss down rain, then yeah, you bang on. But I guess at least like Jonty Fall and that, they're not slow. Like, they're actually got some okay speed for bigger guys. But yeah, the weather can change that in an instant. So, and that's why I kind of, and Jasper didn't have a good game last week. Oh, great kick from Juddy Clark and a great mark. But yeah, if Jasper had a good game last week, I would have considered him just as that medium forward, so you're not as tall if it was going to be raining. But yeah, it wasn't to be, I guess. I know, Hoops. I know the goal kicking's not been great. It's probably poor conditions down there, to be fair. But see, now, even though we didn't mark that there, that is a much better kick to that hot spot than compared to when you see players kick it to the goal line. I actually really like where that kick ended up. We just didn't mark it, but that's a much better spot to kick to. Juddy and Jasper in next week, please and thank you. Agree, Scruffy. Damon, yep, definitely Reed. Lawler, Smiley, Houghton, McAuliffe, Taranto, Hopper in the midfield over 5 years would be fantastic. Agree. Like, how could you not love that? How could you not love it? Warrior, not convinced on the small forward situation. I think Mansell's okay down there. Rioli, I agree. I don't think he will make it as a small forward. I think he's got to make it as a midfielder, or it won't happen. But you've got to remember that in the near future, we'll have someone like a Taj Houghton rolling down there as well, which will make a big difference too. Seth Campbell gets another year of experience into him. Jasper will probably come in and play a role at some stage. But yeah, McCubb's going to hurt this bloke. Yeah, good shepherd. But Morris Jr. for me has to be a midfielder or nothing at all. It is a hard ground, and this is like, because it's not a proper VFL ground, I guess they're looked after a little bit differently. Like, their legs must be sore after games like this. Good mark, Juddy. Pay that. Juddy limping. Geez, I hope that's just a cork. No, don't. Oh, no. No, that typically only means one thing. Jesus Christ. That's not what you want to see happen. I won't dare speculate, but his reaction says quite a lot about what happened there. And we don't get replay to see what happened either. Wow. That's horrible. And no, it doesn't look good at all. The fact he was screaming in pain like that is not a good sign. And when you've done something like that in the past, you know what it feels like again. As Liam Fawcett gets a free kick. It does make you wonder about the hardness of the ground and stuff like that. If they do say anything on the broadcast, let us know, because I can't hear all that's being said, to be honest. But yeah, Dean, that reaction's not good at all. As Fawcett comes in for goal, didn't even score. Gee, that's hit a real flat spot there. Well, make sure we keep fingers, toes, and everything crossed for him, because, yeah, he was on fire again for this week and in the last couple of weeks. Exactly right, Cam. Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, they could definitely pick Razzo up at the end of the year in the national draft or the rookie draft. But I just don't know if he'd be ahead of some of the other players that we've got out there. Like, would Razzo be ahead of Steely Green and Seth Campbell, Mansell? Like, I just don't know whether he would be picked up to be still playing VFL as an AFL listed player. So that's probably the big unknown, I guess. So we're 13 minutes into this quarter, so probably about another 13 or so to go. Agreed, Danny. He should have been in the ones. I don't reckon he shouldn't have even been out there. Commentator said they'll chase it up. Okay. Well, I think a lot of our games will be at Beaconsfield, Scruffy, because of the redevelopment of Punt Road. I think this is kind of our. It somehow works between here and Frankston. Yeah, I'm guessing the Frankston ground's probably in a bit better nick than Beaconsfield, albeit a little bit more blustery. But yeah, I'm guessing we just have to play wherever we can be fit in, I suppose, as we get another free kick. Is that Fawcett again? Yeah, Fawcett with another free kick inside 50. Fawcett comes in. There we go. He's put him all over the shop, and then now he's finally jagged one. Well done, Fawcett. Yeah, Rioli's back out there. Seems to be moving okay. I still haven't seen Campbell Gray, but I'm not trying to look at the back line there. It doesn't look like he's out there either. Because of the redevelopments going on Rogue at Punt Road. So because they're rebuilding and doing whatever, it's unable to play VFL there at the moment. Craig, you reckon we're too tall this week? I think we'll only be too tall if it pours with rain. I think if it stays dry-ish, will be, I guess, no taller or no better off than last week. But like we'll have them covered in the back line, I suppose, because they've got, I think, one key forward, then Aaron Francis is their next forward. But yeah, it'll be, if it rains, then yeah, that's when we could become a little bit too tall. As we get another breakaway from stoppage. Force, I swear to God, Fawcett's been on the ground, like on the floor, the last 3 times the ball's got inside 50 because he's getting pushed or thrown to the deck. The tap with a major. Yeah, Hayes Brown's an interesting one, Palmer. I've always felt we might see him at some stage this year. Like, Kalina with a nice bump there. He's probably still very raw and inexperienced. Like, Ryan's probably still a bit better than him in that sense, but he's definitely developing in the right way. Sophie, it's on the AFL website or AFL app. So if you go to the fixtures on the AFL site or app, change the drop-down menu on the top left side from Toyota AFL Premiership Season to VFL, and then you'll see the game and it'll come up saying watch now, and you'll be able to watch it. Oh, geez, he's just chipped it over the top of Bauer there. Still haven't seen Campbell Grayback out there yet either. Oh, Al great spoil. Great spoil. That was going to be an uncontested mark easily for the Swans. Very, very timely.
So Matty Lloyd will get the free kick at the base of the
18 minutes gone in the second quarter. Is that right? We're down to 2 on the bench. So they've ruled Gray out. Do we know with what? Is it just cautionary or what's happening there? Yeah, I thought Eleanor might have gotten picked up. I was really surprised he wasn't. Oops.
Much to the frustration of Jacob Blight on the line, who thought he could have had a play on it, and he didn't take it. What's the umpire found? A bit of how do you do going on here between...
Who got that? Swans. New poll in the chat. Have we gone in too tall today in the seniors? It seems to be a pretty big discussion point. Yeah, Tiggs, I don't want to go the early crow, but it does not look good. He was screaming in pain coming off the ground after something very innocuous. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to say anything or presume anything, but why did they get a free kick for? I was too busy typing. Was Blight getting stuck into him or something? Why do players give away frees like that? Yeah, but it's not nice with what could potentially have happened. Hopefully, keeping fingers and toes crossed that everything's okay. Yeah, it seems like they've ruled Campbell Gray out, but I'm not sure if it's just precautionary or what the go is there. But the Swans have definitely got... That's a throw? Jesus. The Swans have definitely got their tails up now. Oh, no, because he's dropped one he should have taken and then threw him to the ground.
the hand pass back.
Got to do some defending here, boys. Good mark, Blight.
Blight takes a good mark. Eleanor playing the shield.
Oh, so it's 2 high free kicks in a row. Yeah, they seem to be getting stuck into each other down there, didn't they?
Out wide, close to the boundary line.
Jasper.
The only one who wanted the footy.
Oh, out in the full.
Thought it was out on the ball.
Damn, I thought he marked it. Well, it's impossible to tell.
Free kick.
I think he thought he marked it inside there too.
Ball land and Alga came through, but he was on the wrong side of the line. Here's a chance for Sydney again. Off the ground straight. Razzo overran it. Mitchell dispossessed.
Yeah, I reckon Rezo could play up on a wing.
Stolen by Johnson.
Get involved in some more possession chains, I think. Yeah, he could definitely do that, I reckon.
Come a long way up the ground. Tries to get it past Geddes. Did so in the end. Rioli. Clever.
Morris being held.
Was he grabbed? Umpires.
No, apparently not.
Geddes flicks it back to Shipley. Now through the hands of Patton as well. Shipley gives it to Kirk. He guides it slow and low. Lloyd couldn't take the mark. Back to Kirk. Around
They really are pressing here.
inside 50.
Oh, no, Young's missed it.
Take the mark, or is it Totoli? It is. Gets onto the right boot. Sends it on its way.
Oh, Totoli.
Against the boundary line.
Wow.
Jesse Totoli. Put that in
That's
the
a
box.
great goal. Jesse Totoli, that's Grock's man. He was the one that Grock wanted in the draft last year. I'm pretty sure he was out from this way as well. I think he played for the Stingrays from memory. A pretty handy player.
Say the undiscipline of giving away a double goal. Now a miracle kick from Jesse Totoli.
Jeez, that's a great kick. All of a sudden, they're right back in at 39-26.
Hard up against the boundary where the 50 intersects the sideline. He's as good a kick as you will see.
And I love the fact that he backed himself. He's gone, nah, I'm going to have a shot here.
3 goals quickly for Sydney. Cuts the margin to 13 points after they took a quarter and a half to get just the one.
Just looking across at the boards on the other side of the ground. Billy,
Yeah, Jasper, well, Bauer and Fawcett are definitely playing, are definitely competing for spots against, Sims, Fall, Lynch while he's still playing, obviously. So it's definitely a bit of a long list, Lafau. And look, Bauer had his chance at the start of the year, though, didn't he? And he could have played as that third forward, but he just didn't make the most of his chances. And he had a really big block of 3 or 4 games in the VFL where he was pretty poor, to be honest. Last week he was really good, got 3 goals. He's been okay again today. I think he's gone back to doing the basics again. Like instead of trying to sit on someone's head every contest, he's actually doing the percentage plays, which has been a much better thing to see. But yeah, they are competing for only a handful of spots. And Jasper's probably in competition with Steely Green, maybe primarily. Like I can't see Jasper passing Seth Campbell anytime soon. Seth's obviously a bit more further advanced and doing some really good things. Mansell probably plays a bit of a different role. Obviously has that high frantic octane pressure that Jasper doesn't do. So I feel like it's Steely Green's spot that he's fighting for. And look, Steely had a really rough couple of, almost a month or two since Anzac Eve. Didn't hit the scoreboard and wasn't doing a hell of a lot, but was doing some good pressure things, and that's what kept him in the side. So I guess it comes down to what you value, what you want to try and have in the team. Do you want someone like Jasper who's probably a bit more offensively minded and will get into some more dangerous positions to score? Or do you want Steely Green who'll apply a bit more pressure? Although Steely did hit the scoreboard twice last week against the Giants, so that was definitely a positive for him. It didn't look good, Vertex. It didn't look good. Just his reaction alone suggests that it's not great. Yeah, I'm surprised. We were saying before, Pump, I'm surprised Elnor didn't get picked up in the mid-season draft. He definitely looks a good type. But again, if we pick him up, where does he play? Because we've got so many key defensive stocks. You've got Bolter, Miller, Gibcus, Gray, Blight, Tyler Young. Is there anyone else I've missed? Kaczynski, even though we know Kaczynski's playing VFL. And then you add Elnor, like you'd have 8 key defenders. it's you could pick him up. I just don't know where he would fit into the mix of actually getting a game. Like it would seem pointless to pick him up to then have him still just play VFL as an AFL listed footballer. So I kind of feel like, unfortunately, I feel like that he's probably better suited to another club who is a bit lighter on for key defensive players. And I think he would definitely be able to have a dip at AFL level, I reckon. He shows a lot of good traits, reads the ball really, really well. Good tackle, Trezise. Oh no, it's just bobbling around. Good tackle. Bauer showed signs last year. He did. I remember he had a really nice game against, I'm thinking it was Hawthorn late in the piece. Yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of, yeah, he has. He's gone backwards a little bit this year. And I don't know whether he's a bit frustrated that other kids have like jumped in ahead of him, if you want to call it that. But he's definitely going to go back and start showing some form consistently to be considered to come back in. If Steely doesn't make it as a precious small forward and really goes backwards, who else is there long term? I think the club are really buying into what Steely's doing. But yeah, Jasper would be next, and then maybe Arazo is a consideration to that point. But it's really hard because a lot of that stuff we won't know for a couple of years. Like, I don't think we can put a line through any of these younger players for at least 2 or 3 years once they've got 50, 60 games into them to see if they can make it at the level. So it's a bit of a waiting game in a lot of ways, isn't it? Before we'll know what we do and don't have. He was pretty upset, Vert. He was. Yeah, so did Broad sign a 1 or a 2 year deal? I can't remember what he signed, but look, let's say 2 years for both Broad and Vlosten, you would imagine. But I mean, they're not key position players either, are they? I know they might play a little bit taller. 2 years after that bonus. Yeah, I mean, if we can squeeze another 2 years out of Broad and Vlosten, that would be good as well, just to give players like Trainer a time to develop and grow. Gibkis to come back in and do his thing as well. As the Swans get another goal. So yeah, it's just a big timing factor. Like, we do need another couple of years out of our experienced players. Just not sure if we'll be able to get it done. I don't know if they can elevate anyone. I don't think they can bring anyone in from... can they? I'm not sure now. You've got me wondering about that, Rogue. Can they elevate from the VFL? I don't know. Or can you only elevate like Category B players? Yeah, I'm not sure. Steely showing positive signs and Uze must like what he's doing. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of it's down to the pressure that he's applying, and he obviously hit the scoreboard a couple of times against the Giants, which was good reward for effort because that's what he wasn't doing. But, Morris gets shoved over the boundary. But yeah, pressure-wise, Steely's been doing some pretty good stuff there. It doesn't look good, Sophie. It looks like a knee injury of some description. But yeah, Juddy was pretty distraught, so I'm kind of fearing the worst, but hoping for the best, obviously. Yeah, Vlosten is very hard to replace. Could Luke Trainer be a Nick Vlosten 2.0, just in terms of his intercept marking ability, ball use ability? Maybe, yeah, Trainer could play that type of role, potentially. Yeah, maybe Elnor could be... I'm not sure what Elnor's height is. It's hard because, yeah, do you end up being too tall down back? Like, there's so many things to factor in, isn't there? Punch through for a behind. Gray went off with a lower leg injury. But That kind of looked like he was grabbing his shin, so I don't know whether that was just a bad knock or what it was, but yeah, we've not really seen too much on that either. We've definitely let Sydney back into this. The game should have been beyond doubt in the first quarter. Yeah, exactly right. Right, widescreen, exactly. We'll do a poll on Luke Trainer about his best position. So the poll we're chucking up, what is Luke Trainer's best position? Backline, winger, or forward? We've obviously only seen him very, very limited up forward. So I'm not expecting the forward one to get many votes. But if we think about, we've obviously seen the start of Trainer's career as a defender, doing some really, really good things. Reads the play well, uses the ball really well. Obviously still hasn't got the physical size yet that other defenders or other forwards have to play on to be able to outmuscle him, but works his ass off and competes really, really hard. But I actually haven't minded Juddy Clark, the winger. Oh God, he's on my mind now. Luke Trainer, the winger. So Trainer has played wing, forward, and defence in his under-18s year, so all parts of those grounds are familiar to him. And ever since we drafted him, I had thought that he could play as a wingman. Just athletically really, really smooth. Again, another very good ball user. And it could be something they might try down the track, which will be interesting. And look, it's probably ultimately still too early to tell for Trainer, but I guess just try to get more of everyone's vibe of what position they think he's going to excel in, I suppose. We definitely have, Frank. We've definitely lost our way since that happened. You are spot on. Scruffy, inside 50s, 31 Sydney. Yeah, okay, 31 to Sydney's 18. They've made the most of that 18, haven't they? Stoppage hitouts, Richmond 23, Sydney 11. Clearances, 22 to 15. Like, we're leading in most categories, aren't we? But we just haven't made the most of it. Looking at some of the individual player stats, disposal-wise, Harry Scott leading the way with 15 touches. Lockie Street, 13. Garner, 8. Jacob Blight, 8 touches, 4 marks. Jasper Elgar, 8 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 1 clearance, 2 goals, which is very good. Austin Johnson, 7 disposals. Juddy Clark, 7 disposals, 2 marks, 1 goal. But he is, I suppose, unquestionably the story of the second half and what's gone on there. But I don't think there's been any official report come out yet. But we're obviously keeping fingers and toes crossed for Juddy and Campbell Gray as well, for that matter. Yeah, the double goal we gave him did not help. Jesus. They got the Swans up and about. Hayes Brown, 6 disposals. Force at 6 disposals. He's got a goal as well. Trezise, 5 touches. It's a fairly low disposal game. Morris only the 3, but he's not really playing midfield much. McKelty, 4 touches. Jacob Bauer, 3 disposals and a goal. Razzo, just the 1 touch, and same as Kalina. Big Kalina. But Stephen, you're right. The double goal inspired the Swans till half-time. I wonder if there's a wind going a specific way at the ground. Yeah, apparently Damien, that Rioli Jr. was off for about 15 minutes during one of the quarters. Not sure if he had some soreness somewhere, but he's not really playing as a midfielder much either this game. Not compared to last game anyway. But yeah, Juddy Clark, what do you want to see him as? The poll is in the chat. A defender, a forward, or a winger? Keen to hear everyone's thoughts. Frank agreed Jasper does look like an AFL player. I agree. I like him. I like him a lot. Or Palmer, we'll do that for the next poll. We'll do that one for the next poll, the Smiley versus Houghton. And maybe we include a why not both option, like the burrito ad. Keep us a little smiley, Hot and Armstrong. Yeah, so Armstrong should be back in for the last handful of games too. Again, I suppose the unknown is how many VFL games will he have to play before being picked again. But like at some point in time, I know they're tapering off and changing the training loads for like Fall and Sims and players like that. But at some point, they're going to get tired. Like it's just one of those things as a young kid. But they've been super impressive. Sims game last week. Do we reckon that Sims can replicate it again today? 7 marks. Would he get 1 goal or 2 goals? I thought he was really strong last week. I know Tiggs was all over it as well. But yeah, it'd be awesome if Sims could go back-to-back big games like that, because it's very rare for first-year big men like that to clunk grabs like he was clunking. So that was actually super impressive. Yeah, Tom Brown. So that's a good point, Sophie. If we're talking about replacing Vlosten and Broad, we've already got their replacements in Tom Brown, Trainer, and we've got Gibka still to come in. That's a good point. I mean, I suppose, will it ever be as good? I don't know. It's, one of those ones. They're tracking okay, though. They're tracking okay. Well, if you're reading the fitness report, Warriors, Serple seems really impressed with Armstrong. It sounds like he's put on some serious muscle in the gym, maybe in the upper body area. So he could come back a bit more of a bigger unit. And there's still been a few other people in like draft circles, if you want to call it that, who still stand by that Armstrong could be one of the steals of the draft. He and Trainer, with how low they went, and even Houghton for that matter, will be steals, I reckon. Scruffy, Jasper Alga, disposals, 9 kicks, 6 handballs. Oh, maybe my stats hadn't updated. I think I might have sold him short there. Trezise is above VFL level, as is Blight. Is Blight trade bait to the Eagles? It's a really interesting question, Frank. And I've kind of thought it for a little while. But yeah, if you just look at our key position depth stocks, something has to give at some point. Does it? I don't know. Like, I've been a little bit shocked we haven't played him in the last couple of weeks. I thought he's been really, really good. He's been playing pretty well. But if there was a player that might be of appeal to West Coast, it would be a key defender, because they obviously lost Barras. They might lose McGovern with concussion stuff. And I'm not saying that Blight's at both of their level, but he's a pretty solid defender and from WA. So there might be some appeal there to bundle him in some type of the mix. How would we all feel if he was offloaded? Swans have an ordinary defence. In the AFL or VFL, or both? Shall we really have an embarrassment of riches with so many young prospects? Have to remember that Vlossi, Grimes, etc. took a few years. Yeah, exactly right. It's that 60 to 70 game mark, so there still could be 3 years away before we see like meaningful development and what their baseline's going to be. So arms are strong. Good stuff. Very good, Warriors. Well played. Well played. Yeah, so that's not a bad point, Stephen, that Armstrong, Lawler, Smiley, Houghton, and Trainer are all top 10 rated kids. Well, they all were. I mean, at one point in time, Lawler was obviously number 1 pick. He went number 1. Smiley was ranked number 1 pick for a period of time. Houghton was considered a top 2, top 3 pick for a period of time. And Trainer was considered the best defender in the draft for a long period as well, up against Taru. But so yeah, they're all very highly touted players. If it gets his read, I'm fine with it. Warriors, Boston, Prestia, and Lynch need to be involved another 2 seasons to allow the young guys to learn. Agree. Yep. Definitely need another 2 years. That's the optimum time frame we can get out of Vlosten, Lynch, and Brody. And even Prestia. Like, how does everyone feel? I mean, we've obviously only seen 1 game back from Dion. It was a pretty good game. Again, he'd be another one that I'd be keen to see go around again next year. I think, again, the importance of our youngsters getting to play with him and learning from him in real-time environment and what he does to assist our midfield is quite good. And especially because next year we'll be hopefully pushing to win a couple of more games, that I think he would be an important part of that. So I would actually be inclined, if he was wanting to keep him around again. I would for Dion Prestia. Yeah, Murphy Reed's looked good, hasn't he? He has looked good for Freo. Gray has the speed at ground level. Yeah, Gray's been okay. Very unlucky to be dropped. Very unlucky. In both games, or both times he was dropped, he's not really done a lot wrong. So I'm definitely keen to see a bit more of Campbell Gray for sure. Yeah, I'm sure they'll take their time, Stephen, with him and get him right. They're just going to ease him into it. No rush with Lawler and the hamstrings. Just, and when you see the timeline for return, a lot of these guys are already running again within a week or two. Obviously at a much slower pace, but I just reckon they'll prolong, the recovery for him just to make sure of it, like they're doing with Harry Armstrong as well. Presti has to play on next year. Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Frank, I mean, there's the option this year for Duff Tytler, although Sims is probably going to be the one that takes over from Nankervis. But, if we don't get Duff Tytler and Nank retires in 2 years, whatever it might be, if worse comes to worse, I reckon Ruckman are easier to trade for. Like, there's plenty of Ruckman in team seconds that aren't getting a go that would be happy to come across for the opportunity. You look at, like, Ivan Soldo, for example. There'll be players kind of like that we can go after and get, I reckon, if we have to. Yeah, it depends, I guess, Stephen, on how the Reed thing works if we go after him. If we give up 1 pick or 2 picks, ideally you'd love to give up 1 pick and keep one for this draft, and then you've got the Callaway piece as well. But, yeah, they'll probably ask for both. Well, I don't know, Leo. It's a great question. How will Gray get more game time? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought he could have played a role forward because he was drafted as a forward from Essendon's VFL team. So he's definitely familiar to that part of the ground. So he could have been a bit of a swingman, but they obviously see him more as a defender. But yeah, to your point, he's not really gonna come back into the side if everyone's fit and firing in the back line, is he? Oh, that's okay. Blighty brushes away, Sophie. Jesus, you don't like hearing that. Deep rebuilds need hit 2 to 3 with top 5 picks. Yeah, I suppose it does usually take 4 drafts, and I guess we've kind of lucked out a bit. We've almost done it in 1 with the players we've taken. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? Tom, it's not good. He was pretty shattered, Juddy, like visibly upset, crying on the ground. So the assumption is it's not good. I don't want to say the word to jinx him, but you'll know what I'm getting at. So Sims, Michelle, was more drafted as a ruck forward rather than a forward ruck. So I think he'll eventually develop the takeover from Nankervis, and then he'll rotate forward with whoever else might be down there, whether that's Duff Tytler in a few years or whether it's Hayes Brown or I don't know who else might be in there, but I think we'll see him take over from Big Nank at some point. I agree, Frank. I think if Reed's got interest in us and we've got interest in him, we've got to make it work. I thought that too, Stephen. I had Campbell Gray in my forward line for this week's game. I thought that's where, he would have gone to. And Stephen, I also agree with the Gibcus call too. I've long said that I have a very weird feeling that Gibcus will play as a forward when he comes back. So the Luke Trainer poll complete. Vast majority, everyone sees him as a defender, which is completely fair enough. All right, we'll do... What is the weakest part of the ground? So we do another poll. What's the weakest part of the ground for us currently? Oops. You know what? I'll do ruck as its own option. There you go. New poll started. What's the weakest part of the ground for us currently? Defense, midfield, forward, or ruck? Let us know your votes in the poll. Put any thoughts in the chat. See what everyone thinks. We'll survey the audience. Yeah, I think Ryan, I read somewhere, had a sore foot complaint, because I think that's what, maybe it's part of the stuff, the reason that kept him out, or it's the injury, I said the word, that he had previously. Maybe it's a bit of flare up of that, but yeah, it seemed like a foot soreness. I'm just checking Twitter to see. So I'm just replying to a few tweets. Sophie, you've got to so hear me out. Blight for our first round pick, Steely Green, he's from WA, in our first round for next year, Harley Reid, and the second round pick for this year to use for Callaway. Possibly. I mean, there's so many different scenarios, isn't there, that could play out. It's crazy. Oh, get Walker. I'm with you, widescreen. I'm with you. So the grey one was more. It was kind of. It almost looked like a shin, like it was lower leg. So I haven't really heard what the end outcome is for that, but yeah, that's what kind of what it looked like. 4-9 at present, still young. Oh, too young. Tall's get a few years under the belt. Tom says mids are surely our weakest in terms of top end talent. If we can get a pass mark for now, but no top liners on the list. Michelle, we can't score over 80 points. No, I know. It would be very disappointing if we lost today, Stephen. Do you mean AFL or VFL out of interest? And that's why I made that other video about our next big aim needs to be to kick 100 points in a game. We haven't done it since round 23, 2023 against the Kangaroos. So it's a long, long time between drinks from kicking 100 points. And even if you look at last year's results, we had a lot of games in the 40s and 50s in terms of points scored. And we obviously all know that we were pretty bad last year. And this year, with the exception of a couple of earlier games, we've seen the track a bit better than that, which is good. But it would be nice to hit 100 points at some stage. And last week was the perfect chance to do it, wasn't it? But 17 behinds, geez, that hurts. That hurts. Hope the foul turns on the second half. Yeah, I know. It would be nice to see him kick a couple of goals, tackle a few people. I know, Leo, I'll be shattered. And I hope I haven't jinxed him, but I went full out on him today. I had him in the picture on the graphic. I had projected stats for him and everything. Because he should have been playing AFL. Yeah, Prestia, he's an interesting one, isn't he? That he kind of the domino effect that Presti has in our midfield is quite good, isn't it? And I think even I forgot maybe how good of a game he could offer us. And it's always the unknown of what level can he play at after missing so much footy. But 31 disposals and a couple of goals, whatever he got, and just it helps free up Taranto, helps free up Hopper, and it makes the opposition have to make a further decision on who to try and tag or look after. So, yeah, Presti's importance is quite substantial, I think. And that's why I think it's important that he plays next year too. Benjamin Richmond have declared that Gray and Juddy will take no further part due to knees. Yeah, okay. That's shit. Have they alluded to anything else in relation to that? The Gray one surprises me a bit. I thought it was a little bit lower. But, yeah, that's interesting. He started off really well. Juddy did start off very, very well. It's, yeah, if it's as bad as what we think it is, it's a bloody cruel, cruel blow. Johnny Clark, Campbell Gray. Yes, people are all starting to catch wind of the Juddy thing now. I think third quarter will put some space, hopefully. How does everyone think we're going to go today in the senior game, which kicks off at 10 past? Is it 10 past 1? So we probably won't watch the rest of the full VFL game, depending on how the timing works. But what's everyone's expectation going into the AFL game today? I think it would be good reward for effort to get a win before the bye. And my worry is that that they're coming off a big loss, as the Swannies are, they'll be pretty fired up and raring to go. We'll leave the poll open for another couple of minutes. Let us know your thoughts on the poll. What part of the ground for us is the weakest? Let us know. Oh, 120. 120, thank you.
Home park in Beaconsfield, where Sydney made a rush late in that second quarter.
That's true, Frank. It's true. Like, until they do the full scans and all that kind of shit, you just never know. But yeah, hopefully.
For Richmond, Jasper Alga with 2 singles to Judson Clark, Fawcett and Jake.
Well, yeah, depending on how bad Gray's injury is, Chris, then yeah, Blight has to be kind of the next in line. Is McIntosh sub again? Interesting. I don't know. I'm still not sure if we've got that part of the role right yet. I mean, Camden can come on and play both ends. Well, in all 3 parts. Not that we see him forward very much, but he could do it if he had to. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I would rather him do that role than a younger player, I guess. It's a bit more of a known quantity coming onto the ground, but you just need to have a big impact. Yeah, I don't know if emergency will get to the G. Well, our emergencies were Juddy Clark, Trezise and Lafau, so it will be interesting to see if Lafau or Trezise are out there this quarter. Well, Lafau's out there, I've just seen him. If Trezise isn't out there, then I dare say we'll have... Surely Trezise has to be going. I would be shocked if Trezise is still there, which he is. When they... Oh, deal, Howie, mate. No, I know. So he's got crutches and ice. When they say... Are they just saying a knee injury, or are they saying like he's done a knee? What's the wording on it? Oh, Fawcett with a great pickup at a shithouse handball. Sub must be fast and physical. Rioli or McIntosh. I'm just going to check again our... Was it another Falcon? I'm just having a look at our senior lineup. Yeah, this is truly strange to me. So, as per the senior lineup, the emergencies we've got listed are Lafau, Trezise, and Juddy Clark. Juddy Clark obviously on crutches with ice. Lafau's still out there, and Trezise is still out there. Like, I don't know how that can be possible. Like, surely one of them has to get to the AFL game in case someone pulls out. Or is there other players there? I don't know. It just seems strange to me that they're all still... The other two are still out there. Good spoil, Morris. Speaking of Trezise... Yeah, I picked the Tigers as well, Shane. Look, no doubt they'll be firing for this game, the Swans. It's always the weeks they get slammed in the media, isn't it? They've been doing bloody beach sessions and all kinds of shit to fire them up. So they'll have this game penciled in as a game they think they can win as well. But equally, our guys should too. G'day, Michael. I know, it does. It's not really a... balls bounce across the face of goal. It's not really a VFL fit-for-purpose ground, is it? Like, you'd almost much rather keep playing at Frankston with a gale force wind. But yeah, due to the... There's a Smiley Electronics. There's a good plug for Smiley. Just due to the redevelopment to Punt Road, we've got to play our home games elsewhere, don't we? But it's, yeah, not good so far. Jasper Elgar, he could get done there holding the ball. No. Yeah, I haven't minded Caleb Smith, Frank. I think he's one that needs just a block of games to feel like he belongs. Like, it must be so hard coming into play senior football and not being sure if that's going to be your one and only game in the ones or what might be happening. But it'd be good if you could just say, look, you've got 4 or 5 games in the ones no matter what. Show us what you can do, and just to give them that confidence. Because, at VFL level, kind of similar to Sonza, he does get quite a bit of the ball off the half back line and use it reasonably well. So if he can somehow replicate that for AFL level by feeling a bit more belonging at the level, it would be a pretty good win. Oh, Jasper, that's shithouse. Oh my gosh. He should have done better there, Jasper. Nah, John, the injuries from today are not anything to do with a fitness coach. That's purely just bad luck. And if anything, the ground, nothing to do with warm-up or preparation or anything. It's just quite a substantial amount of bad luck and maybe the hardness of the ground. Our pressure's been good here. We just have butchered almost every shot going forward. Garner's not a bad sort as well. Oh, Bauer and Morris got involved in the way of each other. Spit that out eventually. Oh, I'm not sure. Smith is a tagger. My only question mark would be his tank from a midfield perspective. I've not really considered that as a role option for him. And I know he's playing as a defender, but he typically plays as that attacking half-back, so I'm just not sure how defensively minded he would be. I mean, at some stage it might be worth a go, mightn't it?
Hamling leads the race back. Alga tracks him down. Hamling, cool and calm, gave it to Fox. He flicks it over the top to Snell. Short pass won't be 15.
That can't be 15. We're definitely pressing here, but
And then the umpire blew the whistle, so he stopped.
no luck.
Very sharp.
He has lifted. He's been hungry in front of goal, hasn't he, Jasper? That other one he missed was a bit of a poor miss.
Tries to flick it back in. Hayes Brown beaten for it by Bowman. El Nor just stuck the hands in.
El Nor, interception.
Gave it to Street. Spears it to half forward.
Morris Jr. marks inside 50.
Good footy.
Yeah, I can't remember what Bedford did at Melbourne. He wasn't a tagger there, was he? And he's like probably one of the best taggers around now, isn't he? Like he wears you like a glove. It's crazy. Oh, Soppy, you don't reckon Caleb Smith makes it? I think it's a bit to play out. I think it's a little bit too early to write him off just yet. Like I said, you want to give him a block of games to see what he can do. The problem's going to be more so the position he's trying to make it in, given we've got some players already in and around that area. There's Morris Jr. Oh, he just sneaks it home, Morris. Good boy. Jeez, it held up on the line there, but it's just gotten over. Well done, Morris. All important goal there. Oh, he's a small forward, was he? Okay. So he was able to transform his game. That's interesting. Yeah, Sophie, I've played there a few times and coached there a few times as well. It's improved, but no, it's not the best. But these grounds aren't really VFL level, are they? It's just a makeshift ground for the moment. I know, Alec. Like, we don't know the full extent just yet, but it doesn't look great, does it? Like, just all that preparation, all that work, having done it once already before, Yeah, it's a tough one. Great kick inside 54, so you've got to extend the dukes.
He kept going, picked the footy up, somehow got it onto his boot. Tiedemann, under pressure, his hand pass.
And like if it is the worst case scenario, how do you prepare for that? Like how do you come back from that mentally? The club will just have to wrap their arms right around him, no matter what.
A couple of free kicks to the bigger man enforce it, but apart from that, Cleary drives it up towards the wing.
Cozzy.
Too strong there for Joey.
All right, we'll end the poll there. So 53 votes. What is currently the weakest part of the ground for us? Forward line was the most with 49%, midfield second, 32%, and ruck 11%, defence 7%.
Bowman's going to be hard to stop from here. Kicks on its way and through.
Swans answer back.
A little mistake.
So, with the forward line being judged as the weakest part of our ground, is that more to do with just an age profile thing and where the kids are at? Makes sense if we're talking about it for the now. I mean, we do struggle to score big scores. So I guess what's interesting is if we were to run the same poll in a year's time, for example, they've got a year under their belt, if that percentage comes down a bit, like if we see greater output from the forwards as the time gets on, hopefully we'll see that swing the other way. Yeah, he did, didn't he, Tom? Yep. I'm still shocked that all of our emergencies are out there playing. Yeah, that's it, Andrew. It's just the waiting game, isn't it? It's going to be an enjoyable waiting game. But yeah, still need to keep Lynch around for another year or two to help with that development, I think. Lynch has the cloak glove on today. He will kick a bag and mark everything. Interesting. Were they banned at one point, the cloak gloves? Remember that? I remember seeing a segment on, it must have been like the Sunday Footy Show or something like that, where they're able to pick the ball up so easily with the glove on compared to no glove.
He's having some sort of game. Gives the hand pass off to Shipley on the burst. Guides it back inside 50, not the best.
Jacob Blight, another good. He just reads it so well, Blight, doesn't he?
Richmond's been a dominant force out here.
Yeah, Green Michelle. Yeah, age profile. I think that's a fair enough reason for people to vote for the forwards too.
Spears a kick to half forward. Great pick up on the boot.
Oh, Jasper. He's overshot it. Bauer just won't stay in. Oh, the fence. Jesus Christ.
5 metres. The kick missed him by a half and ran away and out of play.
Just coming back to the VFL women's and with the Tasmanian.
No official details yet, the Dyer legacy. I think we're all suspecting the worst, but hoping for the best. He was visibly distraught on the ground, so it wasn't a great look. And typically when you've done one of those before, you know what it feels like again. So, look, as people have pointed out, Sam Darcy thought he'd done one too, and it was a better case scenario, so hopefully it's something similar. Yeah, I suppose it's only a shorter... Well, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, widescreen? That's true. Yeah, I'm not sure why Toner hasn't played. He played a few earlier games, didn't he? I think Toner started missing out once we got a few of the AFL listed boys back. Because he nominated for the mid-season draft too.
Does that delay the arrival of the VFL teams, or is it still full steam ahead to bring them in and they might play a third year? Tassie will still get in eventually. It'll get sorted out. It just might not be on the 28th.
Well, it has to.
It's definitely ticking, Michelle. Definitely ticking.
Tasmania, footy state, they love their footy down there.
Well, some of the politicians obviously don't. As we see a hand pass over from Shipley to Tolley. Edwards, high ball.
What's everyone think of the whole Tassie situation currently? If they don't get the grounds or the stadium, that they're cooked. It almost feels like the AFL set them up to fail in some ways, doesn't it? John Clark ruptured his right ACL in last year's VFL match. Yeah, true. Same ACL he injured previously. Yeah, I've done mine 3 times as well, John. Mine's still currently torn. Aiden, how are you, mate? What's going on? Yeah, so I've done my left one 3 times. So first time playing indoor soccer, which was, I'm not even good at soccer. So I was pretty much playing socially with mates. Second time was 6 months after the reconstruction, bowling a cricket ball, which I was given the all clear to do, like very slow off a few steps on the follow through step, landed and went. And then I had the Lars ligament done the 3rd time, which did me really well. And then went back and played outdoor soccer, and was playing as goalkeeper typically. And then I tried 1 year in the outfield in defence. I was smashing it too. I was doing really well. And then, yeah, is that Frankston, I think it was. Ground shifted, and yeah, rest was history. So look, I've not ever had scans to confirm the 3rd one's torn, but I'm 98% confident it's torn because there's just some obvious weaknesses when I do certain movements with a lot of instability, which is a bit annoying. Oh, geez, Blight got away with one there. You're on mute. Welcome. What's happening with Blight? I feel he should be in the AFL side. He's definitely playing pretty well. He's had 2 really good games at VFL. He's playing okay again today. He'd have to be up to 8 or 9 marks again, I reckon, as he comes streaming out of the back line again and is about to get caught holding the ball. So that's not great. But his intercept marking and the way he reads the ball has been pretty good again. So with Campbell Gray going down with a knee, we're not sure what the extent of that is, but you would guess that when Bolter has his curfew or whatever, that Blight will probably be in line to get a call up. Yeah, I'm not sure, Tyler, if it's genetic based or... I mean, obviously as time goes on, there must be some lingering weakness, but a lot of it's just luck, and bad luck at that. Exactly right, Aiden. Menzel and Johnson, yeah. Was Menzel 3 or 4? Because he came back and obviously played some good footy after a substantial period of time. Yeah, I think the game changed a bit with the Juddy Clark thing, to be honest. It really took the air out of the Richmond sails. And we've missed some shots at goal that we should have kicked too. Have I even got the score right? I do. I've been keeping up okay. We need another 1 or 2 here, you'd suspect. So they should be dropping the ball. No, Morris Jr. inside 50. Good mark. Seth McDonald, debutante. Good hands from the young man. It was 3, was it, for Menzel? Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, I don't want to say upside, but at least they're surrounded by the right people to get them back into the shape and all that kind of stuff. But it's just the mental game, I reckon. The club said, Andrew, that Gray and Juddy Clark won't be taking part due to knee injuries, but they haven't really said what. So we're still a little bit unsure on that front. Another behind for the Tigers. Don't argue. So Campbell Gray had a knee injury and Juddy Clark as well. But his looks worse. He was pretty distraught on the ground, to be honest, Juddy Clark. No worries, you're on mute. Welcome. Happy to have you on board. Happy to answer questions, what it's all about. Good spoil. Nobby, AFL learnt from Gold Coast you need the stadium and facility in place when the team enters. Unfortunately, there's still a faction bickering between its location. My thing's always been they've already got 2 stadiums there that can hold a crowd. And I know people say, but it's exposed to the conditions and it gets windy and cold and could mean less attendance or whatever. But in terms of getting them up and running, can they not just bounce between the 2? Like they've already got the infrastructure there complete. Agree, Jay Martin. That's what ends up being the frustrating and the real sad part is you're right. Like, all things being equal, they shouldn't have even been out there today. I agree. Oh, Elnor running the ball a million mile an hour there.
Swans a chance, but Elnor went back in.
Morris, good pick up.
Nicely done, Rioli to Street to Young.
Tyler Young inside 50. Oh, Razzo just couldn't get a hand onto it.
But he couldn't get there. Hamling's there now. Touches it on the ground.
Nathan Ablett. There's a throwback.
Game back there for Sydney. His hand pass, well, wasn't the best, but it might have been what was planned as Snell.
Frank, I wish I knew the answer, my man. Question for everyone from Frank. At times, why don't we throw Seth Campbell and Mansell into the midfield? I've been screaming for that for months, I reckon. And I get why we maybe don't do it at the start of games when your midfield's up and firing. It's an even contest, but especially in the games we had earlier in the year when the game was done, like the Port Adelaide game, the St Kilda game, Fremantle game, when the game's over essentially in that last quarter, why not chuck them in there and see if they can add a bit of spark and get it going? I agree. I always thought that was a little bit like, I feel like we use the least amount of midfielders, like rotation wise, than any other club. And it's like, it's no wonder that some of the players like Taranto and Hopper and whatever look cooked by the end of the game, because they're doing almost literally 90% of the grunt work. Still can't believe none of our emergencies are at the game. They're still out there playing. I find that, well, except for Juddy, but I find that fascinating. Although I haven't seen Lafau for a little bit. Maybe Lafau's gone.
Razzo beaten for it. Clear. He's worked his way into the game. Good tap on there. Trying to run through his Kirk.
Surely he's not going to the ground now, though.
Knocked down. Away he goes again. This was.
Oh, no, there's oh, no, still no Lafau.
Hayes Brown flicks it back to Bauer.
Jacob Bauer snaps on the right foot. Another point.
But he put too much bend on it. And it's through from behind.
Yeah, they're really managing Lawler's midfield minutes, aren't they? Which I don't mind. I mean, he's not ever had a full AFL pre-season. I think as well, the game that Tom Lynch missed, they played Lawler deeper forward out of necessity for our structure, kind of as a key forward, essentially. So I don't mind that. But yeah, when he's only in other games, when you only see him with 4 centre-bounce attendances and things like that, it is a bit strange. It'll get there, though. Like, I've got no doubt they know what they're doing with the balance of midfield and forward. And that's why if you get someone like a Harley Reid, you can rest Lawler forward without as much impact of not having him in the midfield and then swap him over. Yeah, I just hadn't noticed Lafau Michelle for a little bit. No, he wouldn't make it Aiden, would he, from Beaky? So I can't imagine he's hightailing it to the G. Yeah, the McIntosh sub. I mean, a lot of other clubs seem to do well using a bit more of an experienced player. They've just got to come on and have an impact, don't they? Wherever they play, whether it's in the midfield or if he jumps onto the wing. We probably need another goal here to try and settle things. There's just a shitload of people around the ball, though. Maybe he's got a helicopter. Take the chopper. Trezise has done all right today. Good inboard kick. Inside 50 we go. Yeah, the goal scoring has been done at that end, hasn't it? They definitely do need a couple of more.
Down by Podmore Taylor. Kick off the outside of the boot of Lydler.
I think it's more managing McIntosh.
23 minutes gone.
Is this the third week in a row? Third or fourth week? Only the second, okay.
Not a bad sub.
Pretty useful. Double premiership player. And pass out.
You're right, Michelle. It does look like they're landing on a slab of concrete. Bird Dog, how are you? Look, the unfortunate news, Bird Dog, is Juddy Clark did a knee injury in the second quarter, first quarter or second quarter, and it looks like quite bad to the point where he was emotionally crying on the ground. It's not looking promising for Juddy Clark. Who kicked that? Jasper, my man. There he is, third goal. Jasper, yes, Jasper's most definitely been doing enough to get a game. I thought he's been doing enough for a couple of weeks now. Last week he was probably a bit of a down game. But yeah, 3 goals. He's been doing very well, Jasper. That's a great kick from that angle. But yeah, Bert, in the Juddy Clark stakes, not good news, it must be said, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, I'm not sure if Morris could play halfback, Aiden. I still think it feels like it's midfield or bust, doesn't it? It just feels like he's got to make it work there. He hasn't played bulk midfield minutes there today. But he's done okay this quarter. Jasper Olga, 11 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 1 clearance, 3 goals. Very, very solid return from Jasper. He's got to be getting close, the kid. Got to be getting close. Again, Jasper, if you watch this back, please reply to your Insta DM from me. How many marks has Blight got? 9 marks for Blight. Oh, come on, Frank. We know the answer to that already, don't we? That's a good mark from the Swans. A big 0, I would say, Frank, for midfield minutes for Sonzi. It just never happens, does it? It just never happens. McKelty Lafau, 5 tackles, 1 mark, 4 disposals. Haven't seen him for a little bit, though. 5 hit-outs. Has it just gotten really dark at Beaconsfield? Yeah, not sure. Not sure he would do that as a halfback, Aiden. I mean, they could definitely try it, but I still reckon that Morris is best in the midfield. I suppose he provides a bit of run and dash, doesn't he? Jasper versus Ross. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, isn't it? Because I think a lot of the players who maybe from a fan perspective have been underperforming from a statistical standpoint, like your Steely Greens and Jack Ross, I think they've been ticking a lot of boxes pressure-wise and maybe structure-wise. I know that seems a very bizarre thing to say, but there's got to be other metrics that they're hitting really well that have kept him in, if that makes sense. Yeah, Ross is another one that I think needs to be an inside midfielder. I'm not a huge fan of him at half forward or on the wing. I think there's other players who can play those roles okay. But when he does play midfield, he does play it really well, but it's just trying to get him in there, isn't it? Oh, right, Jasper. Right. Yeah, I just said, Jasper, love your work. Would love to have you on for a chat to learn more about Jasper the person and talk about footy. No, I'm not even sure if he's seen it, to be honest, but we're trying. Oh, yeah, there's Lafau. Thank you, Michelle. Nah, Bob Ryan's not an emergency. He was withdrawn with a sore foot, I think I read somewhere. Unconfirmed sore foot. I do want to state that. It was just what I read on the interwebs somewhere. But yeah, he was withdrawn from the game. So our emergencies are Lafau, Trezise, and Juddy Clark. And Trezise and Lafau are still currently playing and will not beat the MCG. There's Lafau. Oh, good tackle, Morris. And that's where it gets interesting, John, because we're talking about like Ross at half forward, Sonzi plays half forward, and these are guys that are in and under midfielders who play that role really, really well. And then you've got Jasper, who's actually a specific half forward or a forward pocket who plays that role really well. And it's like, at what point do you play the half forward in the half forward role at the AFL so that we're getting a player in there that knows what they're doing in that particular area instead of midfielders trying to end up being half forwards, if that makes sense. I'm just a bit more of a believer of playing players in the roles they're meant to play than trying to put a square peg in a round hole. I agree, Michael. Jasper was a steal at 58. Yep, he did mid-20s. I'm pretty sure it was maybe the night before or the day of the draft that Cal Twomey made like real mention of Jasper Alga being a genuine bolter for end of first round selection. And I'm sure we must have had our eye on him for a while, but I think we traded back in with Gold Coast, I think it might have been, to get that pick. That's a great kick from Detoli. He's another one that we had our eye on too. I'm not too sure he's played the McCarthy role, don't argue. It's kind of been hard to hear some names, if I'm being honest. Well, siren goes. 7:13 though. Jesus. It's a lot, isn't it? I'm not sure if 10 points is enough, to be honest, folks. Not sure. Too many midfielders. And that's why the All-Australian, for example, Nobby, is a real farce in a lot of ways. How you'll see Cripps or a Petrarca or whatever else picked as a half forward. It's like, no, you know what? If they can't make it as a midfielder, then just don't pick him. Are we allowed to pick a different sub? Yeah, I don't know, Michelle. I'm not sure how late you can actually change your sub. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Looking at some stats quickly. We will have to wrap this one up soon so I can go watch the main game in the lounge. Lockie Street, 20 disposals, leading the way for Richmond. Harry Scott, 19. Jacob Blight, 15 with 9 marks. Had a couple of turnovers at the end or got caught holding the ball. El North, 13 disposals, 6 marks, 1 tackle. Had a really good game. Joel Garner, 12 disposals. Trezise, 11. I felt like he's had more, but yeah, 11. 4 marks, 4 tackles, 1 clearance. Jasper Alga, 11 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 1 clearance. 3 goals, 2 for Jasper. 3 goals, 2. Get him in. Tyler Young, 9 disposals, 3 marks. Fawcett, 9 disposals, 1 goal, 2 marks, 2 tackles. Morris, 8 disposals, 1 goal, 1 mark, 2 clearances. Hayes Brown, 8 touches. Bauer, 6 disposals and a goal. Lafau, 5 touches, 5 tackles, 5 hitouts. All the 5s. Razzo's only had the 1 disposal, can you believe? 1 disposal and 4 tackles. That's fascinating. Yeah, not sure Rioli. He hasn't played full-blown midfield. He actually went off for a substantial period, John, so I'm not sure if there's a bit of a niggle going on there, but I mean, definitely not the same game as last week, but I don't think he's been used in the same way either for large periods, if that makes sense. Oh, no, the AFL, yeah, the scheduling's been horrible, been frustrating. Oh, okay, so you can change your sub up to 5 minutes. Yeah, right. Fair enough. Yeah, and it must be something to do with the defensive side of the game, widescreen. That would seem to make the most sense, I guess. But yeah, I like what he offers. It's one of those balance things, I guess. Like, do you want to have a more offensive threat in Jasper Alga or a more defensive-minded player in Steely Green or whoever it might be? It's just, yeah, whatever floats the coach's boat. Yeah, it has been quiet, and that's the thing. Like, small forwards like Razzo will be prone to be in and out of games, won't they? But he could have a quarter where he has 5 touches and kicks 3 goals. Like, that's just the kind of thing that could happen. God damn. Alga still with a try in the first for sure. I think I'm probably biased, but I think he is. Yeah, who are you stopping, Heaney or Warner? I think Heaney. Warner's I think probably quicker, but I feel like Heaney is more damaging with disposal. I think Warner's been a little bit wayward recently. Not to say he can't correct it today, but I reckon Heaney worries me more because I don't know who's going to take him when he goes forward. Like, if we don't get that handover correct from midfield to forward when he drifts down there, he could end up in some really dangerous spots, which scares me a little bit. I think defensively we should be able to take care of their tall forwards. But yeah, Heaney and Warner are the ones that could tear us apart with that run and outside speed. Frank Jesper's 18 years old. Yeah, he's one of the youngest in the competition, but he's super smart footballer. Super smart. All right, that's probably going to be a wrap because I'm going to go get some stuff sorted, get the kids under control because they're running a bit of a muck out there before the seniors start. But thanks everybody for tuning in for the VFL. I know we've still got a quarter to go, but the timelines just don't align. It's bloody frustrating. So I'm sure you're all going to go across and watch the main game as well. So enjoy the footy from wherever you're watching from today. Hopefully we can get a win. It would be a nice way to go into the bye with another 4 points. And if we can see an effort like last week, but with a few more goals, that would be amazing too. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all your chat comments and everything like that and participating in the polls. And we'll see you on Monday night for the live show for a bit of a mid-season report. And then Wednesday night we're going to show our round 1 best 22 for 2026. So that'll be an interesting discussion as well. But have a great day and I will see you all early next week. Go Tigers.